Well, friends, I'm so delighted to be joined today with the Kuhn family. I'm here with Greg and Tanya and Alam and Tarakwah Kuhn. Although they're all on three screens here, they're coming from the same home, just different rooms, which is kind of fun for us. And I'm delighted to get a chance to speak with them recently as a family. They participated in the Black Lives Matter rally that was here in Victoria. And as a faith community, we want to be continuing in a dialogue that's healthy, that's wholesome, that's helping us have a deeper understanding of some of the issues that are floating around racial justice and racial injustices, how we can play a role in moving us forward as a faith community and as a society, really, as we endeavor to walk humbly with God, to do the right thing, and to move towards greater justice every day. So I'd like to start actually with you, Tanya. Would you just share for us what was behind your desire to attend the Black Lives Matter rally, and why don't you start us off?
I feel that sometimes the Black community are fighting this battle alone, and that we don't want to speak up as white individuals. We care for our Black friends, we love the people that we know, but we don't speak out. And so for years and years, they've been fighting this alone. And I just wanted to be there, present, and using my voice to help support that.
Yeah, great. And I'm sure as a mom to these, I believe by the time this is actually recorded, you'll be 14-year-olds, both of you girls. I think you celebrate your birthdays this weekend. I'm sure that has a whole another layer to it as parents. Greg, could you share with us, did obviously being a father, did that impact some of your thinking as well?
Actually, hugely. When obviously the tragic events that had happened down in the United States, and kind of the world just changed in that moment when George Floyd's life was taken from him. And it was just kind of a moment in everybody's life where they just said, enough is enough, and things need to change. And what was unique was my girls then started to talk to us about things that they had experienced. And I mean, for myself, I mean, my kids coming up on 14 will have experienced racism in a way that in 14 lives I could never face. And so as they were telling me stories, we as a family said, absolutely, we want to stand behind change. We want to stand behind moving this yardstick ahead and pushing for equality.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Tarakwah, talk to me a little bit about what was going on as you were preparing to go to the Black Lives Matter rally. I saw that as a family, it looked like you made signs and you had prepared things, but what were you thinking, or what were some of the reasons that were making you want to attend the rally?
Well, as a Black person myself, obviously, I was drawn to it, and I felt I needed to do more than just post Instagram posts and educate people that way, but to actually make a point and stand out and show my support to my fellow brothers and sisters.
So Alam, we haven't heard from you yet, and we're just wondering, did you have similar reasons as the rest of your family for attending, or what were some of the reasons you wanted to be a part of the Black Lives Matter rally?
I wanted to be a part of the rally because all the things that were going on, I knew it was wrong, and I knew that there was some way I could help, even if it was just supporting by going to the rallies and by just showing my support in the big groups and crowds and letting them know that we're all there with them.
Yeah. So I'm curious, Tarakwah, do you mind if we just come back to you right away? I'm curious if you have kind of a standout moment or something that you heard or learned or saw while you were there that you really were struck by.
Yeah. Like, first I expected the rally to be like a little thing in a little square, but I was really surprised of how many people were there showing their support, and people of all different ethnicities and backgrounds. So I found that really cool, and yeah, it was really impactful.
Yeah. It's when you see numbers sort of gathering like that and realize that you're not alone. There's a great deal of confidence, I'm sure, that comes from that. How about you, Alan? Was there a standout moment for you that you reflect upon?
There were parts that I really enjoyed because the speakers were just telling their stories of what they experienced and what they've learned through it, and even some never faced racism, but they still um, shared what they've heard and what they've experienced from other people.
The power of a personal story can't be underestimated, and that's why I'm so grateful that you as a family would agree to speak with us today. Greg, again, with that father hat on, talk to me about what stood out for you at the rally.
Actually, for me, it was one of the girls' friends was one of the speakers. Her name's Hewitt and Darge, and she's probably about grade 10, grade 11, and spoke about different aspects of racism that she experienced in school. And she was just very, very powerful, and just said, you know, enough is enough, and I want to be a power to change, and I want to be a voice to change this. And to see a number of teens stand up there and just say, this is what I'm going through, and we all need to make this change.
Wow, powerful, powerful. Tanya, for you, was there something that sticks out, something you draw upon?
I think so. We like, as Canadians, we like to think of this as a American issue. But one of our hairdresser's daughters, well, the hairdresser was speaking, and they're from Nova Scotia, and her daughter's father died in police custody right here in Canada. And just to hear, you know, that she had to go it alone as a single mother, and that her daughter had to go through life without a father for that very reason was really difficult, but really powerful to know that it's a Canadian issue as well. Yeah.
Tanya, thanks for sharing that powerful story, because I think, you know, as we think about issues around racial injustice and moving towards hopefully greater justice all the time, there's no area of our globe that has escaped the tensions and the stain of sin around racism. And so as a faith community, one of the things we want to be doing is standing with families like yours and others who are engaged in this dialogue, who are learning actively, who are participating in the hard work of unpacking some of the systemic racism and the personal racism. As you're engaged in that, we really pray that the Spirit will be empowering not only you, but all of us towards greater justice. So I'm interested in hearing again from all four of you, actually, if there's something that you would personally take away from your experience at the rally that you want to move forward with in mind, an action maybe, or a response, or something that you feel called or led to out of that experience. Alan, would you be able to answer that for us?
It was how many people were really caring about it, and how many people were showing their support and letting everybody know that they wanted to help and they wanted to help change it.
Thanks, Alan. Yeah. I hope that really is an encouragement to you every day, and I know that there'll be hard days ahead for sure. Teraqua, for you, what's something that you take out of this experience that you think maybe it's leading you towards a different perspective maybe, or something that you pick up and kind of go, I want to remember that forever?
Yeah, actually, like I've been thinking about it a few times, but I talked about it yesterday. That my name actually means my story. So after hearing the testimonies at the rally, I felt like my story counted more, and like I could share it with others.
Wow. I'm trying to keep it together. That's really powerful, Terqua, to live into your name that way. Um, that's a really powerful experience. I pray that there are lots of opportunities for your story to be heard. Tanya, talk to me about what you take away from this experience.
I take away that we need to keep having the conversations and listening to the hard things, even after it feels tiring, and that you want to go back to just having light conversations and talk about more interesting, worldly, fun things, that we just keep doing the work. I do want to mention that Alan did write to the Minister of Education since this began, so she has taken some steps towards advocating for education in this area, and has been in contact with her school as well. And
Wow, those are powerful and practical steps, and I appreciate bringing that up. Thanks. Greg, we want to hear from you. What were some of the takeaways? A little bit of a spoiler alert. I heard from other members of your small group, Greg, that you had been encouraging them all to take action, whether they were confident in the rightness of that action or not, but just to take action. So I don't mean to speak for you, but I'm curious if that was partly a result of some of your experiences.
Absolutely. Martin Luther King said that and this is going to be a paraphrase, but basically, for evil to survive, all it takes is for good people to do nothing. And time again, we've just been silent. And I think it's long past time. It's not about time, it's long past time where we stand up and just hold people accountable for their actions, for what they say, but not out of a mean spirit, but out of a heart that loves and is compassionate. And as I said this morning during prayer, which seeks justice and loves mercy and walks humbly with God, that we can show the right attitude and display the right attitude, but do it vocally and make a change. Starts with prayer, has to be some action, and then always followed with prayer.
Yeah. I have always loved a quote that said, real prayer always calls to action. And so I think that's something for us to be mindful of, that our default posture is always to pray first. That's such a powerful and significant role for us as people of faith. But real prayer will call us to action. It will call us to be the manifest hands, feet, mouth, arms of Christ in the world as the Spirit is upon us. And so I really want to add my voice to the prayers of many, that God's justice, that God's kingdom will come, and that we will rejoice in a day sooner than we can imagine, where all of this just doesn't even make sense to us anymore, because the kingdom vision has come. And so we pray that, and then we also commit to walk it out in accordance to God's goodwill. Thank you, Kuhn family. We love you, and I loved hearing your stories. Thanks for sharing with us.